The new patch looks very scary. It has a lot of changes, unlockable conditions that we know for the entire set changed. What exactly is good? It feels like a mid-set update. For those that don't know me, I'm Grim, I'm a challenger player in set 1, and for the last few sets I help people to understand this game a bit easier. I looked at the top players that play PBE right now, like Daisy, Question Iverson, Brosev, and I also looked at the data from the website like Data TFT to see exactly what's good in the new patch. Today I prepared 5 camps that you can play in the new patch so it's easier for you to climb. Yone is the biggest winner of the new patch because now it's easier for you to unlock him. You just need a Yasuo 2-star with 3 items and level 7, and you're gonna have Yone. When it comes to early game, you wanna play around 3 Ionia with bruisers. Jhin can be the carry, or if you get an early Yasuo. I think Jhin is like safer because you can kill more units and it stays more alive. When it comes to items, Rage Blade is actually like fine on Yone because he's kinda slow, but any bruiser items are fine on him. Like Titans, BT, Edge of Night, Hand of Justice is okay. But you'll see a lot of people building like maybe Titans, Edge of Night and Rage Blade because you wanna have like the QSS, but you also don't want him to like get bursted through like Edge of Night. The level 8 board can be a lot of stuff. You play in the similar style with Yunara where you play like 5 Ionia plus legendaries, but with Yone you can play 7 and just push 9 as well. When it comes to the cap of this board, it's a bit different from Yunara. You don't really play around Kindred and Yunara as the secondary carries, and you can look for other carries that you have items for. You'll see a lot of people playing around Ryze maybe, or like Silas, even 2 Shurimans are pretty good. So be very flexible at level 9. Misfortune Bilgewater is actually pretty good on the new patch, but it's kinda complicated to play. Your opener should be around 3 Bilgewater of course because you wanna get the Serpents early, but it's more important to get like a tempo opener. So for example, TF1 and Illaoi 1 and Graves 1 are not good enough to like say, oh, I'm playing Bilgewater 100%. It's very important to know exactly when you can play Bilgewater because you need to understand that with the new patch there's new unlockable conditions and people can spike way easier. So unless you have like a giga opener with Bilgewater, for example maybe Twisted Fate 2 or like 2 bruisers upgraded, I wouldn't consider playing Bilgewater unless you know what you're doing. Another very important thing is that your augments are extremely important. Some people will tell you that, oh, just take like full economy maybe and go level 9, play around legendaries, but it's not that simple. You see, if you're weak in stage 4, you might never reach level 9 or you're gonna hit it with 1 life and just gonna lose to someone that higher. The good part about Bilgewater is that you get Tahm Kench earlier, so you can actually like feed him early with like 1 cast units that gives him HP or AP, and he actually can be a very good tank in the late game. But if you decide to play Bilgewater, be sure that you know exactly what you're doing, how to go level 9 and how to cap the board. There's multiple ways that you can cap this board with like maybe 5 Bilgewater, but the best board that can win the game is always with 3. So play around Shyvana, Fiddlesticks, Senna, Kindred and units like that. You'll see some people playing around Ryze sometimes as well. So unless you know exactly how to play this board, I wouldn't recommend to play it. But just so you know, it's an option, you can put an item on him and it's pretty good. Another very important thing about this camp that people still don't understand is that you don't need to stay in 7 Bilgewater the entire game. You take 1 item and you're out. You're taking either a frontline item if you need more frontline, or you take an MF item if you need more damage. It's very simple. After that, you drop to 5 Bilgewater with more important units, like any tank units or damage units, and you can look for like Misfortune copies to maybe go MF3, or you can still get Captain Brew even if you're like after mid game because it's still good. Do not stay in 7 Bilgewater if you're losing a lot of fights and you're low HP. You need to find better units like Wukong, Swain, Taric, Braum, anything that makes your board value increase. Kalista Shadow Isles, it's a very big winner of the new patch because everything got easier to unlock. Yori got easier to unlock, Gwen got easier to unlock, Thresh you just need some star levels, you don't even need the souls anymore, so everything is easier with Kalista. But the early game is still terrible for Shadow Isles. You see, all the items for Kalista are very bad on Viego or any other unit that usually you play on your board. Last Whisper is not very good, Sojin is not that good on Viego. I'm not saying it's unplayable, I'm just saying that with Viego 2 and 2 items, you're not gonna win stage 3 at any point. So when you play this camp, don't get baited just because you have 1 Viego, yeah? And be sure that you play this camp when you have a strong opener with like maybe 2 units upgraded, maybe 2 bruisers, maybe Viego 2 and stuff like that. So don't get baited by just, oh, I'm playing Shadow Isles because it's so easy. I'll play this board when I have a lot of upgrades or a lot of component slams, because this camp can use a lot of components on a lot of carries. There's not much to say about early mid game with this camp. You just play like around Shadow Isles, you get some souls and you unlock Kalista, and after that the game you actually do something and you play Wardas. But there's some difference. You see, now Thresh is easier to unlock, but doesn't mean you should make items for him unless you have extra items. You still want to have 3 items on Kalista, 3 items on your main tank, that usually it's Loris or Braum. But at level 9 there's a lot of changes. You know that usually you go level 9, you drop Viego when you have Thresh, and then you just add any units. Yeah, now you drop almost everything. You see, you go 9, you play Shadow Isles, you drop everything but Kalista and Thresh, and then you play quality units. You play around Azir, play around Silas. I saw some people playing around Ryze. I'm not saying it's good, I'm just saying it's an option. Apparently Yorick being a 2-cast, it's not that good, so you wanna drop him as well, replace it with other units like maybe Taric or maybe Skarner. So pretty much is a big soup of like legendary units. But the main idea is that if you stay in like a lot of Shadow Isles, you're not gonna do very good. So you need to play around Azir, Shurimans, Seraphine, stuff like that. Talking about Ryze, he's rising a lot on the new patch because he's on a lot of level 9 boards. The most common board you're gonna see him on is the Freljord one with Lissandra, because to be honest, it's kinda easy to play. Early game, you want to have like items on Cyan, so you unlock LeBlanc, she's gonna be your main carry until like level 8. Then mid game, you play around Cannon, now it's easier to unlock, so of course you get Cannon. And for bruisers, at level 8 you wanna play items on Lissandra, you wanna unlock Volibear, and then you have like 4 bruisers, Volibear carry, Lissandra carry, and 3 Ionia with like Cannon and Wukong and Shen. And then you go level 9, you play Ryze, you play Taric, and you can cap it to different boards. You can drop out of 4 bruisers. I wouldn't do it because you need a lot of gold to do it, but I'm just saying you can play around Ryze 2-star, Zilean 2-star and stuff like that. I'm just saying it's a bit more complicated. Just play your 4 bruisers, play your Ryze, your Taric, be a good boy and just get your top 4 and get up. If you wanna win, of course. When it comes to items, he doesn't really like AP items. He just wants anything that allow him to cast faster. So for example, a red buff, voice staff, Sojin, not sure, anything is fine. If you have AP, it's fine. But I think overall Lissandra can have like more single target damage, killing units consistently. And then on Ryze you can have anything that it's a leftover. Of course, if you have Ryze 2, you put any items that are strong on him. The last big winner of this patch is actually Demacia, because Galio got easier to unlock, and they brought back the MR and Armor Day 2 class patch. To unlock Galio now you only need 8 star levels, but the downside is that you need level 8. So if you play around Lux, there's no difference, but if you play maybe around Vayne Reroll or Zahen, it's gonna be a bit worse. 8 star levels on Galio means that you need 3 units from Demacia that are upgraded and any other 2 units that are not upgraded. And you're fine, you're gonna unlock Galio. That's exactly why people are not gonna play 7 Demacia anymore, and they're actually gonna drop to like 5 or 3 in some cases if they have a lot of gold. When it comes to early game, it's actually pretty simple. You play around Sona 2 and Jarvan 2, slam any AP items that you have, any tank items that are usable, and just try to push levels. Archangel, JG, Nashor, voice staff, Sojin, all of those are good slams. Personally, I like to have Sojin, Archangel and JG because this way I think I have enough frontline with like Garen 2 and Archangel can scale and have a lot of damage. And after like the third cast, I think Lux can one-tap the backliners or most of them. So I think that build is fine. But overall, just slam anything AP, anything that can win streak and you're fine. Your level 8 board is usually 7 Demacia with Swain and Lissandra, but you can drop Demacians for like useful units like Taric, Skarner, maybe Shyvana, maybe Lucian, stuff like that. You'll see some Ryze with Demacia and also some Veigar with Demacia. I'm not saying that's bad, it's a bit more complicated to play those and you need certain conditions. I think overall these 5 comps are gonna be very good for the patch, but on Wednesday I'm gonna drop another video with the updated comps, having all the stats and see more games and see exactly what's good. I hope you learned something this video and I'm gonna catch you at the next one. Fuck you, Lime. Let me get the intro, hold up, let me think. But so that you can use, so you can climb very easily. You see now more than ever it's actually more important. I think overall these 5 camps are very, I think overall these 5 I hope you learned something in this video and as long as it allows you to